everyone, today I've got your X-Men Days of Future Past movie review. X-Men! Yay yay! Bryan Singer returns to direct yet another X-Men movie, which includes some of the cast from the X-Men First Class movie, which was directed by Matthew Vaughn previously. This big behemoth of a cast sounded so cool since I heard they were making this movie because they're combining both the original cast members and the ones from X-Men First Class. I saw it on Memorial Day, and boy, I was in for a treat. I was a fan of the previous X-Men movies, even though some of them weren't, up to my expectations. They weren't really done properly, whatever. But I really loved how many of the characters were involved in this movie alone. It just made the fangirl in me come out, so I was just really super excited for this movie. This movie focuses on the extinction of all of the mutants, including some humans who are willing to help, aid them in this huge fight. Basically, some of the events that happened are caused by this guy named Bolivar Trask, played by Peter Dinklage, who I'm a huge fan of, especially since, I found him to be equally awesome in Game of Thrones. I like how they have all these epic battle sequences. I really have to get into that because it right off the bat, as soon as the movie starts, there's this huge battle, and of course they do have other awesome action sequences in this movie, but none compares to what happens just right away. Sends chills down my spine. It was absolutely intense. It was perfect. Basically, the original cast members of the X-Men movies are fighting off these robotic machines called the Sentinels, which I'm not too familiar with, but I know they were in the comics, especially getting into this whole storyline. And I thought that they were pretty cool. Some of the new additions of the cast, I found some favorites of the group had to be Bishop and Blink. I thought those two were just by far the coolest characters I've ever seen. And I know a lot of fans have been on the fence with another character, Quicksilver, who is I found to be completely laughable. Like that one scene with the Magneto prison break scene, and that whole sequence alone, I was just literally like, okay, here we go. And I was just like, I've had enough of this. It was just so ridiculous. His whole character, I could go on forever talking about him, but you guys let me know if you had a problem with him as well. I really liked Evan Peters recently, seeing him in American Horror Story, but I'm probably more looking forward to seeing Aaron Taylor-Johnson playing Quicksilver in The Avengers Age of Ultron. This is probably one of my favorite X-Men movies at the moment, and the enhancement of the storyline, just how big it was and how big Bryan Singer had made it, it really piqued my interest since I have seen X-Men First Class, which I originally, I wasn't too sure about it at first, but then I kept on seeing it over and over again, and I just loved it. I loved that whole storyline, bringing in all those characters. And I really felt for the characters and their struggles to survive in this war between the Sentinels and them, and then they end up sending Wolverine back in time, back into the past. I thought that was really cool. Hugh Jackman, obviously, once again, gave a stellar performance as the Bone-Clawed Mutant. Yes, I was definitely one of those people that missed his adamantium claws. I wanted to cry a couple times, actually. To tell you the truth, I was really finding there were a lot of emotional scenes in this movie, probably more so than I have seen in any of the past X-Men movies, which was really surprising, but I just loved that aspect about it because it was different, and I loved that different part of it, which is why I actually appreciate Bryan Singer even more than I have. I'm just, thinking just how intense the certain scenes were, and, it was just a huge step up, so I'm glad that he returned to this franchise. So he is just really great at directing it. It really brings me back to the days when I saw the original trilogy, especially seeing the Charles and Eric relationship sort of unfold and then eventually take its toll on, you know, them and the entire group, especially when Mystique rolls around. My girl, Jennifer Lawrence, was once again just fantastic playing her, so I loved her character, probably one of the best characters in the movie. And this was also some of the best acting I have seen in a while, especially in an X-Men movie itself. So I thought that was really cool. And I really liked how great the chemistry was between certain cast members. And there are just so many people to name. You know, I just love them all. You guys know who they are. And I just couldn't tell you who was, like, truly my favorite, even though I love Mystique. This movie was fast-paced, despite it being an over 2-hour long movie. And I was just enjoying every minute of it. I can't stress that enough, despite it having maybe a couple continuity errors, especially concerning the original X-Men trilogy. There's no question in my mind, I will definitely be seeing this movie again, maybe even a couple times. I can't wait to see the whole cast return for X-Men Apocalypse. What is up with that post-credit scene, people? Overall, X-Men Days of Future Past is, I'm going to say, the best X-Men movie to date in the franchise so far. I would definitely recommend seeing it if you haven't already, but if you have seen X-Men Days of Future Past, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about it. Which X-Men movie is your favorite? As always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.